faulty PCB boards, cabinets that rot, and CRT monitors that go out. Arcade machines put through the ravages of time. Every day another one is lost to the sands of time. However, thanks to preservation methods, we have ways of rediscovering what could have been lost. But what was worth playing then? What is worth playing now? This is 20 Credit Review.
Capcom has had a long record of releasing quality beat-em-ups with great character design, but this genre is usually relegated to fighting in the streets. Armored Warriors takes things into space, piloting a towering mech unit. So, without further ado, let's review. This game amps up traditional sprite arcade work with exceptional detail. Notice the soldiers on the ground trying to take down your machine. This gives you a good idea of how big your mech really is. Of course, these guys have no chance of taking me down in this, but you have to give it to them, they are exceptionally brave. Although you aren't a big mechanized monster, you never really feel it, as the different mechs all move fairly fluidly. This does break the illusion somewhat, but I prefer it this way versus piloting something slow and plodding. Of course, we just have to assume that in 2228, their weaponry is so advanced and these pilots are so good that these machines simply move effortlessly. Yeah, let's just go with that. One of the coolest features of this game, other than the amazing theme, is the ability to replace parts of your mech with those of fallen enemies. Don't like the armored weapon you are currently sporting? No problem. Take down that guy and collect his laser sword. How about secondary weapon? Not enamored with your Vulcan? Fine. Replace it with a flamethrower. And what about your bipedal legs? Not good enough. How about some mechanized spider legs? All of these add-ons really give the game some serious bite, because as you pick up different parts, you start to realize that they all have little special attacks, especially in the legs/propulsion department. For example, if you go with the hovering add-on, then when you perform what would normally be a jump kick and a beat 'em up, turns you into a rocket, barreling at your enemies. The tank tread turns your mech into a spiked out menace. Another example is your drill arm. Collect that and attach it, and not only are you drilling your way through foes, but hold onto the punch button and your drill opens up to fire a missile as well. It pays to find the right combination for you. Also, let's not forget that there are 4 mechs to choose from, each with their strengths and weaknesses. Arm them, pardon the pun, with parts lying around, and you are well on your way to rounding out your mech. During my playthrough, I clocked in a little over an hour to reach the ending. It almost took my entire 20 credits, but just like the King of Dragons that I covered in episode 3, which also happens to be another Capcom beat 'em up, this title is quite long for an arcade title, which is a plus considering how much value you squeeze out of your available credits. This game was released in 1994, and I have to say that aesthetically, the game really holds up. Although we know it as Armored Warriors, in Japan it was named Power Gear, Strategic Variant Armor Equipment. Yeah, I can see why a name change may have been necessary, but it is quite a bland name either way. Luckily, we don't judge games based off their names, because there would be a good chance that we would have a lot less good ones. Unfortunately, this title was never ported to a home console, but they did release a sequel, kind of. Cyberbots, Full Metal Madness, the sequel in question, was not truly a follow-up, but rather existed in the same world and featured some of the same characters, but instead of a beat-em-up, this was a one-on-one fighting game. One thing you'll notice during your playthrough that is a bit out of the norm for arcade games is all the dialogue. Playing with the various characters will get you slight variations on the dialogue when you play through the same part. The story is nothing grand. Basically, Earth and its planet Rhea had been at war for a century and a half, but a ceasefire peace treaty had been signed and everything is cool now. The stress call comes from the Rhean capital, and the United Earth government deploys troops out to go save them from an unknown menace. Spoiler, they're cyborgs. There is a bit more to the story, but I'm going to be honest here. I don't play arcade games for story. But hey, at least every time there's a break in the action, it gives you an opportunity to drink your beverage. Armored Warriors won't win any awards for gameplay mechanics, but being able to outfit your mech with different parts is definitely a nice touch. This game excels at being an extremely solid experience with great controls, great artwork, intriguing set pieces, and constant action. Oh yeah, and giant mechs. What's not to love? Alright, it looks like that concludes our video. If you like this kind of stuff, why not hit the subscribe button? And if you like this video, we could always use a thumbs up. But most importantly, thank you for watching.